And what about you, Lily? Because for me, and I think for a lot of people as well, I don't remember a time when Jua Cali was not famous.
Me too.
So what was it like for you?
Well, for me, I met him in 2009. And after our first meeting, I think he didn't even give me his number. I think that's what made me look at him from a different angle. Because I was like, I can do this, I can do this. So he gave me his manager's number. And you see, that's a nice thing. When you meet a guy for the first time and then he gives you his number just directly like that, no. So then after that, I used to be I'm still his fan. So I just liked him. I didn't love him. I liked him first. And then after our first, second meeting and third, we actually left the people we were with and we came together. We just decided that this thing is working, it's going to work. And yeah, we moved on from there.
And weren't you worried? Because, like I said, Jua Cali is huge. I think for me, like in the history of Kenyan celebrities, Jua ranks up there. And I've met him a couple of times. So I can imagine even for you as a girl, at that point, you're like, okay, I like this guy. We have great conversation. But at the same time, did you have any fears, especially considering the magnitude of his celebrity?
I think what happened is that we met in 2009. Then we we spent some time together on off. So by the time it got to 2013, when we moved in together, I had seen everything. I had experienced everything. And I decided that, let me give it a shot.
So it's important that you date before
first,
now settling down
go
as a
through
married
all
couple.
those things. Women texting him, sending him videos and naked pictures and
And I like that everyone on the table is laughing about this one.
Yes.
So let me ask, how do you deal with the women around your men?
You don't deal with them. I'm not dating him because of other women. That's what I learned. I used to look at his phone and I see messages. I even call those women. And
So
they're
this is
women
earlier
who
on in your
we all know,
relationship. Yeah.
actually. But it got to a point where I was wasting more time trying to figure out what is he doing? Who is he texting? Instead of making myself happy. So I decided if I come across it, I will deal with it. But I won't go looking for things through either in his phone, email, and I have all the passwords. But it doesn't mean I have to really check. That's why we're unhappy as women, because we waste more time trying to live their lives, checking their emails, their messages, their phones, their laptops. Even sometimes doing a surprise visit at the office just to see, is he with someone else? What is he doing?
I'm loving the fact that everyone here is laughing like, been there, done that. Let's hear from you, Mukami. Been there, done that.
I think for me, I just, there's this thing about men that I feel sometimes I don't know when a woman is coming onto them. So if, for example, for his job, he wants to help people. So people will come with all types of problems and he'll be willing to help. And some of them are not even in his forte, but he just wants to help. So, and some of the problems, you look at them and be like, this is not a problem. This is someone just coming.
This is a daughter of Jezebel.
You see a girl from Tharaka Nithi County coming to tell him that she wants bursary for her child. And I'm like, there's so many counties, constituencies. There's so many, before you come to Nairobi, you had a women rep, you had a ward rep, but I'm from a single person. So he's sympathizing, and I get his paper, and I'm like, this is not one of those. The child doesn't have disability, they don't have albinism, so probably they'll get bursary in their constituency, but he doesn't see it.
But you see, for all those who are married, it's an advantage because we put them in check. We as their women, right? We put them in check. We're like, don't do this, do this. This is not right.
And I'm curious, is this a conversation you have with your husbands?
Yes.
So how did that conversation go? Let me hear from you, Millie. So how do you start that conversation? Because
nowadays, there's so many of Sasa Kamami on DM. I have it on my phone. His Instagram is in my phone, mine is in his. So you get so many of Sasa Kamami. That's, for me, I would get it direct. And his reply will matter. So we had to talk about it. this is it. You're getting into this. You've never been in it. So how do you handle it? Considering you have a brand, you've seen what has happened. You meet someone, there's so many DMs. The next thing, it's all over. Screenshots. And you being a family man, people know you're a family man, you'll embarrass all of you. So it's staying rooted. It's us. As you've just said, it's keeping them rooted. Because sometimes, not in a bad way, men forget.
Yeah.
They forget.
And I want to find out from each of you, because again, the reality is that because of who they are and what they do, the fame is a byproduct of the job. So if you're going out and about, they'll always be visible. Someone will always know, oh, that's Jua Cali. I want a picture. I want a selfie. And probably you're there with your husband, and that young girl is coming, and she nudges you out of the way. So what are the conversations you've had about handling that? Because I can imagine it can feel a bit uncomfortable. 1 minute we are together, the next you're feeling like the third wheel. In fact, I'm sure there are those who can even elbow you out of the way.
In fact,
It has happened to me.
To take the
Photographer.
So you just take, sometimes it's actually just innocent. Sometimes it's innocent.
Yes.
Like, why would I get in between a photo with the person
A genuine
you love?
fan, yeah.
Like, I'll take the photos. I not even want to be in them because I'll probably be an actual third wheel. Like, what was this one doing here? So I'll just take the photos. Now, I think what happens more in private spaces is what you ask about. But in public, we are 10,000. Everyone is running to... Surely, I just step aside most of the times, and if you want me to take your photo, I'll take. If you want me to just move aside for you to have your talk and just express, it's fine.
But I'm sure that, there you said right now it's fine. It must have come from a place where you had to now accept, I must be graceful.
Yes.
Because you see, for me, it's through experience. When I met him, I could not breathe. The first time I saw him, I could literally not breathe. I was like, oh God, holding my friends and whatnot. So coming from that point, I normally understand when someone comes to him, they want to hug him, they want to do, because you find like 80% is just innocent. They're innocent.
80.
Yeah, because when you meet your icon, if you were to meet Beyonce today, for example, you don't know how you would react to that.
Yeah.
So coming from that, I normally understand, and I let them do whatever. But after we are done, there's no exchanging numbers. Don't follow us to our car. Ishi hapo, just take those pictures, videos if you want, hug him all you want, but it ends there.
What about the
Some
20%?
Some even take their phone, like,
No.
nipige na yako.
Wow.
So you ask yourself,
Yeah.
how will you get it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How will you get the
Exactly.
photo?
Almost
It
like-
means you'll get into the DM.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the lady, blah, 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 blah. For Terrence, he's become a little bit sensitive of late because us, we're just getting into it. We've been to Jua for some time. So we've just been these people behind the scenes. And so it's now getting to us. And with time, he noticed that, tukiwa pamoja, it's us. Don't. So he's become sensitive.
So you have to have boundaries, and especially in the
Yes.
context, and for you, because you're also branching out with your own career.
Yeah.
But in the context of where it's the guy who's more famous, as a couple, you have to have boundaries. He also
And you
needs to know,
agree?
this is my wife's
Oh, yes.
boundary.
It's our time.
Yeah.
And you agree that in private,
Yeah.
you don't do it in public.
Yeah,
So
it's
if
the
someone
drama.
comes and kisses him on his mouth, you don't react there.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So that is part of the grace that you must
Yeah. But when you get home, you're like, sit down.
Lily looks like she's
She's been in it for long. As we just, you're orienting us.
You're teaching.
Like
you're
you see,
teaching.
for me, I had this experience where we were coming from a club. So he was holding my hand and we were leaving. Then there's these chicks who she came in between us. She's like, yeah, give me your number. Yeah, I don't know what. Then my husband is busy pulling my hand, pulling me onto this side. And the chick was just insisting and insisting. In my head, I was just like, this chick, and she was this tiny. I just felt like I could just hold her like this and throw her away. But I did nothing. I just let
have
him
to be
handle
gracious.
it. You let them handle it.
Yeah.
If they don't handle it the way you want them to handle, that's when you come in.
You address it in private.
Yes.
I like how you've put that. And let me throw in another angle, because you're all parents on this table.
Yes.
So what happens where the kids are involved? And for me, really, this is the pet peeve one. And I really believe that, especially where children are involved, you have to have, your boundaries will be a bit more stricter. And depending on especially how young or whichever stage the kids are, because the kids might not understand, why is it when we are at a mall trying to have a family lunch, After every 2 minutes, somebody's walking up to my dad and mom, I want a picture, or trying to have a conversation with them. So how do you handle that, Mukami?
I think my son is still young. His story is out there because of how he was born and everything. So when people see him, they also want to know how he's doing, and they're happy to see him. And he's kind of funny because he'll see his father greeting everyone, and he'll now start going greeting everyone and everyone.
So for him, that's normal.
That's normal. But I think growing up, the one thing that I would really want is for him not to get favors, for him not to get special treatment based on who his father is, and for him to grow up knowing that he needs to work for himself and not ride on what his father has or what his mother has. And I think that's the biggest question on how do we do that. Because you see, like, some people will even call him Junior Mweshimiwa, or, you know. So I want him to grow up knowing that he's not special. Like, he needs to work hard. He needs to do what other kids are doing without feeling like people are treating him specially. Yeah.
Still more to come here on this conversation. Remember that you can always let me know what your views, comments, and feedback are on this topic via the hashtag Real Talk with Tamima. But right now, it's time for a very quick break. We'll be right back.